I'm Richard Cartwright, and this is Golf Swing Analysis. Hope you're all well and still trust that you're hitting golf balls in your back gardens. Been seeing a lot of pictures online of golf courses that are just in absolutely pristine condition, not being touched for ages. Just tempting you to get out there, and hopefully, like I say, in the next week or two, hopefully we'll be able to get out there, and hopefully this weather will continue as well. Did anyone see the repeat of the 2017 Open as well at Jordan Spieth? What an Open that was. I'm not a Cooch fan, I've got to be honest. I also want to hear your comments on the video so far as well, please. Please feel free to comment whatever it is, whether it's a good thing, whether it's a bad thing, whether you agree or disagree. Please don't fear commenting. So next up tonight we've got Adam. And Adam, he started playing in September. And just before the lockdown, so around about March time then, Adam got his first handicap of 17, which is incredible considering he's only been playing golf since September. To have a handicap that's less than bogey golf is pretty damn impressive. And when we see his swing, you can pretty much see why he's been able to do that. But yeah, that's very impressive. That, for me, in my experience, is really quite rare. It takes people a number of years of golf to be able to do that. So fair play to you. But as you can see from his setup, for example, you can already see he's had a good few lessons in tow, which is fantastic. But there is one thing I would very much change about this setup. I think overall, again, I always like to talk about the good things in people's golf swings. You know what? If you can hit the ball, there's always got to be some good things, even if you might not feel like it, like there is. But you can see nice spine angle. Love the way the arms are hanging down. The club shaft in a nice position. I like the way it grips slightly down the handle. A little bit more control over the golf club. I think it's fantastic. But what we do see, in my opinion, we've got a little bit too much knee flex going on here. And that's for a reason. Because the pelvis is just sat down. So it's almost like he's sit down a little bit more. I want to see your tailbone here then, Adam, pushing back up and out. Okay, so I want you to feel your tailbone is pushing. See that sheet in the background in the top left corner? I want to see your tailbone pushing back up and out. And that pelvis sitting down is making your knees flex just a little bit too much. And again, when we see the swing, we're going to see the consequence of that setup. But overall, lots of good stuff in the setup. But I would make sure your pelvis is tailbone, pushing back up and out towards that top left corner of that sheet. Let's have a look at the swing overall, because again, for me, the backswing is for me one of the best I've seen. It really is absolutely fantastic. Love the turn on the way back. Love that sensation of that club pretty much in line with the hands. The body's doing a lot of the work. The hips are doing a lot of the work. The right hip in particular is nice and deep and back and around. The hands are nice and deep as well, which is fantastic. Love that right arm supporting that golf club nicely. There's a nice gap in between the knees. The hips have tilted, the knees have changed flex, shoulders tilted. Oh, it's brilliant. Absolutely fantastic. But Adam says he does suffer with a few fats and thins. Hits it pretty straight overall, but does have a few fats and thins. And for me, this is one of the reasons why. Again, the setup partly the reason, but again, for me, this is the main reason on the way down. Watch what happens here when I play this back and forward, just in that transition on the way down. And you'll notice his right pocket, his right hip, really starts to push forward very quickly. So I'm just playing this back and forward, this transition here. So his lower body's really, really active. Now he generates a lot of swing speed, about 84 miles an hour. I think it was with a 6 or a 7 iron, I think. So quite high, but considering PGA Tour average with the 6 irons about 92 miles an hour. So pretty high. But as I say, on the way down, to generate, he feels he needs to generate that speed from the ground up, so with the lower body, which again is good, but the problem is, here's the consequence of that. Look at what happens to the shaft of the golf club on the way down. When I take this down very slowly, you can see that shaft. It's coming in really quite steep. Now, I remember going to a Pete Cowan seminar many years ago, and he said to me, absolute gold dust, He said to me, golf's a game of 45 degrees. I'm sort of scratching my head thinking, what's he on about? He goes, if you get that shaft in a 45 degree position, majority positions during the golf swing, you're in for a good time. You're going to be a good ball striker. But the problem here is you can see that shaft is not at 45 degrees. It's more at 15, 20 degrees tops. So he needs to shallow out the shaft. And the problem is, because of the way his lower body is moving on the way down, he's unable to shallow that shaft. And with that right pocket pushing forward the way it does, that's actually done the opposite. It's steepened the shaft, which is causing him to try and make sure he's coming out of the shot so the club doesn't career into the ground. And when he times that correction well, he's going to hit the ball well. But when he doesn't quite time it, he's not quite on, or the ground conditions aren't quite right, he's going to fat a few, or he's going to thin a few if he doesn't quite get that right. So to stop that from happening, we need to make sure that pelvis, that tailbone, is pushing back up and out to begin with. And on the way down, what we want to try and do is really quieten the lower body. So I almost want you to feel here then at the top, Adam, that the club is almost feeling like it's dropping and the body is not turning. Okay, so we just want to do from the top, to get to the top, as you do. Don't change anything there, please don't. And let the club drop, as opposed to really force the body and the club to do the action. You might lose a few miles an hour of swing speed to begin with. That is not an issue. What you will lose in slight swing speed, you'll very much gain in quality of contact. So what we're trying to do, the purpose of this is trying to make sure the shaft is shallow on the way down. The way we're going to do that is by trying to make sure the body is not really going for the action there. He's doing all the action, I should say. So if we look at someone like, let's have a look at Mr. Garcia, for example. Gets to the top. Again, you know what? Really nice, good position, especially with the arm structure. I think it's absolutely fantastic. And then from there, he's almost letting the club just drop into the slot. So what I like to say is just simply letting the club do the work. It's not the body doing all the work. It's the club that's doing the work from the top. Look at this shaft on the way down. Really quite shallow. Again, that peak count 45 degree angle on the way down, compared to quite steep 15-20 degrees on the way down. So hope that makes sense to you there, Adam. Just to confirm, push that tailbone back up and out to begin with, and make sure we're letting the club do the work on the way down and not trying to really rotate that body hard and fast on the way down. But well done. I hope this helps. I hope this really helps, again, a lot of you who have got that same sort of issue as well. As before, please subscribe to my channel, like, comment below anything you agree with or disagree with. And I look forward to speaking to you all soon.